Good morning, children. Today we are going to start chapter 3 of your history book, Nationalism in India. Already, two videos of this chapter I have sent you, part 1 and part 2. In the previous videos, I told you about Simon Commission, non cooperation movement, different other movements started by Mahatma Gandhi. And today, I will start with Salt March or Dandi March. So, first of all, I will tell you that what was this Salt March and why this march or this movement was given the name Salt March. As you all know, that Britishers, their main aim was to collect more and more taxes from the Indian people. So, in order to collect more and more taxes, they were imposing tax on each and everything which was used by the Indian people. So ultimately, they imposed tax on salt also. Why they imposed tax on salt? Because salt was, or you can say, salt is the commodity, or salt is the thing which is used by everyone, whether the person is rich or poor, uses salt on daily basis. So they imposed tax on salt also. Mahatma Gandhi was very displeased when he got to know that the Britishers have imposed tax on salt also. Mahatma Gandhi on 31st January 1930 sent a letter to Lord Irwin, and in that letter which he sent to Lord Irwin, he placed 11 demands, and he told Irwin that if all these demands will not be fulfilled by 11th of March, then he will start civil disobedience movement. Civil disobedience means to disobey in a civil way. So he gave this warning to Lord Irwin that if demands are not met or if the demands are not fulfilled, then civil disobedience movement will be started. Lord Irwin, he was unwilling, he was reluctant to fulfill the demands of Mahatma Gandhi. So, Mahatma Gandhi, he decided to start the Dandi March or Salt March when he felt that whatever demand he has placed before Irwin in his letter will not be fulfilled. He started the Dandi March or Salt March. He started this march from his ashram Sabarmati. And from Sabarmati ashram to Dandi, the distance was 240 kilometers, miles. I stand correct, 240 miles. So Gandhiji started his march with 78 followers, and he reached Dandi ultimately after 24 days. Means that Gandhi along with his followers was traveling 10 miles per day. He reached Dandi, made salt, which was prohibited. Indian people were prohibited to make salt, but he made it on the banks. And in this way, he started the civil disobedience movement. In this way, he showed that he was disobeying the British government without any violence in a civil way. And that was the starting of the civil disobedience movement. After this start of civil disobedience movement, people like non-cooperation movement once again started boycotting the goods and things which were made in Britain. At some places, people became violent also, And in response, the Britishers were very aggressive. They started arresting the people and pushing them behind the bars. Slowly, the situation became bad to us, and the Britishers, including Irwin, they were finding it very difficult to control the situation. So, the same time, Lord Irwin sent a letter to Mahatma Gandhi, and through that letter, he invited him to Britain to participate in the Round Table Conference. Mahatma Gandhi, he was not willing to go and participate in the Round Table Conference, but when Irwin was ready to release all the political prisoners, then Mahatma Gandhi agreed to his demand to go and participate in the Round Table Conference. Mahatma Gandhi, he went to participate, but this conference was not successful. Why this conference was not successful? That I will tell you later. But this conference could not give desired result to Mahatma Gandhi, and the negotiation broke off in between. And when the negotiation broke off in between, Mahatma Gandhi returned to India. And when he returned to India, he was surprised. Why he was surprised? Because all the important political leaders in India, they were caught and they were in prison. So that time Mahatma Gandhi felt that he was cheated by Irwin. And once again, he decided to restart, to relaunch the civil disobedience movement. Now, students, I will tell you that the people who participated in this civil disobedience movement of Mahatma Gandhi, how they saw this movement or what were their views regarding this civil disobedience movement. First, I will tell you that how the rich people of that time, they saw this civil disobedience movement of Mahatma Gandhi. Rich people actually participated in the civil disobedience movement of Mahatma Gandhi for their own benefit. Actually, that time when this civil disobedience movement was started, that time the prices were falling down, and the rich people, the businessmen, they were suffering huge loss in their business. So they participated in this movement of Mahatma Gandhi because they thought that if they will participate, then Mahatma Gandhi will fight for them also. Mahatma Gandhi will do something to bring them out of their problem. So rich people actually participated in this movement for their own benefit. But when Mahatma Gandhi called off this movement in between, they were very disappointed. And when Mahatma Gandhi started this movement once again, they decided not to participate in that movement. So, children, with this, I am ending the third part of the chapter, Nationalism in India. Rest of the topics we will see in part 4. Thank you.